Welcome to Wild Breakaway with Ben Clymer. I'm Audra Martin. Tonight, the Minnesota Wild come up short in the shootout, falling 5-4 to the Carolina Hurricanes. They have to settle for a point, which is disappointing considering there were a lot of moments throughout this game where it looked like they were well on their way to their first win of the season. Unfortunately, the Carolina Hurricanes had other plans, able to overcome a 2-goal deficit and get things done in the shootout.
The first 25 or so minutes of this game, the Minnesota Wild looked to be in a firm control of it, but then all of a sudden things started to unravel. The Carolina Hurricanes out shooting the Minnesota Wild heavily in those final 40 minutes and ultimately unable to complete everything in the shootout. Eric Staal trying to cap what would have been quite a nice comeback for him, scoring the goal, unable to convert in the shootout. But the Minnesota Wild have time, which they will need to regroup here against the Chicago Blackhawks in a few days.
Well, here's a look at tonight's final stats. 27 shots on net for the Wild compared to 42 for the Hurricanes. It was a busy night between the pipes for Alex Stalock in his debut. It was also a busy night on special teams. 1 for 3 on the power play for the Wild, killing off 4 out of 5 of their penalties, including another 5-on-3 opportunity that they had to face here against the Carolina Hurricanes. All in all, it's another tough loss. They have to settle for a point. Bruce Boudreau, though, not too pleased with the overall effort from his team tonight in Raleigh.
Well, we're way too loose. I mean, we're not going to win a lot of games if we play like that and allow, 40 shots on goal a game and have our goalie, our poor goalie, to have to make 10 bell saves. I mean, it's not the right way to play. It's not the way we practice, and it's just too loosey-goosey.
Here's a look at the next 3 for the Minnesota Wild. They do have a few days off to regroup, get some practice in before they take on the Chicago Blackhawks in Chicago Thursday night. Then they finally return back to Minnesota for the home opener Saturday against the Columbus Blue Jackets before hitting the road yet again to take on the Winnipeg Jets. The Chicago Blackhawks, always a tough draw. This is always an exciting matchup between these two teams. The Blackhawks are no joke. They always are a tough draw, but you look at what they've already done this season. I mean, they put up 10 goals against the defending Stanley Cup champs. They clearly are not messing around. They are out for another deep run, I think, this season, based off what we've seen so far.
Well, there's going to have to be some attention to detail for the Minnesota Wild if they hope to compete against Chicago Blackhawks. They put in 10 goals up on the Pittsburgh Penguins to open their season. Yes, that was a statement heard all the way throughout the league. If I was the Minnesota Wild, I would be going in with a good, healthy sense of fear, and I think that's okay to have a bit of fear, but the Minnesota Wild ultimately need to get 2 points.
We'll see if the Wild can grab their first win of the season against the division rival Thursday night. We look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, for Ben Clymer, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on Wild Breakaway.